Let's start with the fourth chapter from your economics book of grade 12, and the name of the chapter is Elasticity of Demand. So let's begin. The law of demand tells us only about the direction of change in demand for a commodity in response to the change in its price. The law of demand makes a qualitative statement only. It does not tell us about the magnitude of change in quantity demanded in response to the change in price. In other words, we can say that law of demand does not tell us what amount of quantity demanded of a commodity will change in response to the change in its price. Okay, what is the change of the ratio? We never come to know from the law of demand. You always study that law of demand is always having a adverse relationship. If the price changes, the demand decreases, and vice versa. So let us today understand what is the ratio of this change, and this change in ratio can be understood from the elasticity of demand. So what is the meaning of elasticity of demand? Elasticity of demand refers to the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded of a commodity to a change in any of its determinants, namely price of the commodity, price of other commodity, and income of the consumer. Okay, when there is a change in all this, what is the change in the quantity demanded? This is what we are going to know. Basically, there are three main types of elasticity in demand. One is the price elasticity, cross elasticity, and income elasticity. Today we are going to start with price elasticity. So price elasticity of demand may be defined as the degree of responsiveness of change in the quantity demanded of a commodity in response to the change in its price. So today we are going to understand if there is a change in price, what will be the change in the quantity demanded. Price elasticity of demand refers to the ratio of the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity to a given percentage change in its price. So price elasticity, you can see there is a equation given here. Price elasticity is equal to price change. You can see I have done a triangle shape, that is called change, or often in economics we call it delta. Delta means change. Okay, percentage change in quantity demanded, dd means demanded, divided by percentage change in price, that is delta p. So classification, what are the types of price elasticity? One is perfectly elastic demand. When quantity demanded of a commodity does not respond to the change in its price, then the elasticity of the demand is zero. So, change in price but no change in the quantity demanded. This is called perfectly inelastic demand. Price will be changing but demand will remain unchanged. We will get a vertically straight line demand curve. Okay, this is, you can see the diagram number 1. You can see the diagram number 1. This is called a perfectly inelastic demand curve. Next we are having number 2, perfectly elastic demand. When consumers are prepared to purchase all that they can get at a particular price but nothing at all at a slightly higher price, then the price elasticity of demand for the commodity is said to be infinity. Okay, so we can say a demand curve of infinity elastic is known as perfectly or completely elastic demand curve. We are talking about the perfectly elastic demand curve. So this is, if the price is decreasing, the demand of that commodity is increasing. But if there is a slight increase in the price of that commodity, there is no demand for that commodity. In this regard, we will get, you can see diagram number 2. This is perfectly elastic demand curve. As the price, you can see, as the price at the initial stage was OP, as the demand at the price was OP, you can see the demand curve D2, right? So that is the demand curve. But as the price got increased from OP to OP1, from P it is increasing to P1, there is no demand curve at all, because there is no demand for that product anymore. Third one is unitary elastic demand curve. Unitary elastic means, you can say, the rate of change is the same, okay, when a given percentage change in the price of a commodity cause an equivalent percentage change in the quantity demanded, then the elasticity of the demand is said to be unitary or 1. If a fall in the price of the commodity by 10% causes an increase in the amount purchased, it is also 10%. So you can say this is a curve, and this curve is known as rectangular hyperbola curve. Rectangular hyperbola means where the area of the curve, area of a rectangle is same. In whichever way you measure, the total area of the rectangle at different point of the curve is same, okay, that is called rectangular hyperbola. So that is, here in short we can say that the unitary elastic demand means if the price decreases by 10%, the demand for that commodity will increase by 10%, and if the price increases by 10%, then the demand for that commodity will decrease by 10%. And we can see what kind of a diagram we are going to get. You see the diagram number 3, that is a curve number 3, you see unitary elastic demand curve. Okay, the fourth one we are having elastic demand curve. When the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a commodity exceeds the percentage change in its price, the elasticity of the demand is greater than unitary. In other words, or in simple term, we can say that if the price decreases by 10%, the demand is increasing more. The demand is increasing by 15%. Okay, so rate of change in demand is more than rate in change of the price. Price is decreasing 10%, but demand is increasing by 15%, and we are calling it as elastic demand. Okay, this is the diagram. And next, the fifth one is inelastic demand. Inelastic demand means where if the price decreases by 10%, but the demand increases by 8%. So you can understand the change of the price of that commodity is more than the increase in the demand. Price is decreasing and demand is increasing. We cannot forget this. As the price is decreasing, the demand is increasing. But the price is decreasing more. The rate of decreasing is more, but the rate of increase in the demand of that commodity is lesser than the price. Price is decreasing by 10% and the demand is increasing by 8%. Okay. Let us come to the next part of it. These are what are the methods of measuring the price elasticity of demand. With the diagram we will try to understand. So in your book also you can see page number 55, there is a figure given, figure 2, point and arc elasticity. Point means when price elasticity of demand is measured at a particular point on the demand curve. This is called point elasticity. You can see there is a demand curve drawn here with DD, right? DD is the demand curve. You can see point R and you can see point R1. So point R is saying us that from OP we are getting the price and OQ we are getting the quantity. So what is amount of you can say at that price how much quantity is getting demanded. We are just marking it with a point on the demand curve, right? And when we are marking the second point, that is R1 on the demand curve, and as we are joining the line, you can see there is marked as an arc. Okay, that arc is showing us the increase or the decrease in the demand, right? So you can say the concept of point elasticity is useful when change in price and quantity are very small in quantity. The method used for measuring point elasticity is called point method. What is arc elasticity? When elasticity of demand is measured over a finite range or arc of a demand curve, this is called arc elasticity of demand. According to arc elasticity is a measurement of the elasticity between 2 points. Okay, arc elasticity is a measurement between the 2 points, that is R and R1 we have marked here. The arc elasticity of demand can be measured by percentage method and total expenditure method. Now again we are getting few more methods here. Thus there are 3 methods of measuring the price elasticity of demand. First is percentage or proportionate method. Next we are having total expenditure method. At last we are having point method or geometric method. Okay, let's come to the first one, and this is said as the percentage or proportionate method. Percentage or proportionate method, you have seen there is an equation given here. This is saying that price elasticity of demand is measured by the ratio of percentage change in the quantity demanded to a percentage change in the price of the commodity. Thus we can say price elasticity is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. How can we understand what is a percentage change? For understanding the change, we have to know what was the original price, right, or the initial price. So we will say change in quantity demanded divided by initial quantity into 100, which is divided by, again, that is change in price divided by initial price into 100, right? So we are getting the equation here is quantity. I told you change, often we give this triangle shape and we say it is a delta or change. So change quantity divided by quantity into 100, change in price divided by initial price or original price into 100. So we are changing the equation now, that is equal to change in quantity by quantity divided by change in price divided by price. If we solve the equation, we are getting that is price elasticity is equal to quantity, or you can say change in quantity divided by change in price into initial price or original price divided by the original quantity. You can see here example is given. Okay, so they have considered here that suppose a commodity falls from rupees 50 to 40 at a quantity demanded, and the quantity demanded increases from 10 units to 150 units. So the first line they are saying the quantity demanded initially was 100. Now the change in quantity is 150. So how much is the change? 150 is the recent one and the previous was 100. So if we just subtract it, we are getting it. The change in quantity is 50. What was the initial or the original price? It was 50, and the change in price is 50 minus 40. Okay, so we are getting 10. So what was the equation? Change in quantity by original or initial quantity into price by divided by initial price. They have just evaluated it. They have put the numbers there, and then we are getting 2.5. This is the price elasticity. So we can say that more the number will be like 2.5, it is 9, if it is 8, we can say the elasticity is more. Okay, the advantage of percentage method of measuring price elasticity of demand is that it gives a exact measurement of elasticity. Large value of price elasticity and demand indicates that demand is more sensitive to the change in the price. Small value indicates that demand is less sensitive to the price. Okay, this is what we came across, and next we are going to understand the total expenditure method. What is the total expenditure method? One of the methods of measuring the price elasticity of demand suggested by Marshall is the total expenditure method. Total expenditure incurred by the household on the purchase of the commodity. How much money that person is you can say spending to get that commodity, that is called the total expenditure. Okay, so we can say that elasticity of demand can be measured by considering the change in total expenditure incurred on the commodity as a result of change in the price of the commodity. We can say that the change in total expenditure due to change in the price. As there was a change in price, there was a change in the expenditure also. So the first scenario they are talking about is elastic demand. What kind of elastic demand here they are trying to say us? They are saying that if the price of the commodity decreases, the total expenditure on that commodity increases, and if the price of that commodity increases, the total expenditure on that commodity decreases. Here we are going to say that the elasticity of demand is more than 1. You can see here, right? This is a demand schedule given for the elastic demand. We can see the price is rupees 60. When the price is rupees 60, the quantity demanded is 10 units. So the person is spending to get this commodity 10 unit is 600. As the price decreased, you see the price got decreased to rupees 50. So you can see the quantity demanded now increased by 3 units, and we are saying it is now 13. So the total expenditure got increased from 600 to 650, right? As the price is decreasing, the total expenditure is increasing, and the same thing is presented to us in a curve form. This is called the elastic demand curve. You can see it is also showing us the triangle in between this O, this point. We are marking that it is the triangle part is showing us the total expenditure. Okay, next we are having inelastic demand. Inelastic demand means the price will decrease and the total expenditure will also decrease of that commodity. As the price will increase, the total expenditure on that commodity will also increase. Here the price elasticity is less than 1. Okay, so you can see a demand schedule again given here. So price per unit is rupees 60 of that commodity. At that time the quantity demanded was 10 units. So for getting the 10 units of that commodity out of 60, they were spending 600 rupees. As the price got decreased to 50, you can see that the quantity demanded was 11. So as they're demanding 11, what is the expenditure? The expenditure is 550. So you can understand, as the price got decreased, the expenditure also got decreased. And the same thing have been shown to us in a curve form. Okay, next we are having unitary elastic demand. Unitary elastic demand means where the total expenditure, there is no change in the total expenditure, but there is a change in price. Okay, this is called the unitary elastic. You must remember whether it is we are calculating the whether we are studying the total expenditure method or we are studying any other, you can say, elasticity of demand. whenever we are studying unitary means usually we find it is equal to 1. Okay, here they are trying to show us in this diagram. We will understand table 4.4. They are showing us when the price was 60, that time the quantity demanded was 10 and the total expenditure was 600, and as the price got decreased to 400, then the quantity demanded became 12 but the total expenditure remains same, 600. So here we are going to say price elasticity is equal to 1. The same thing have been shown in a graphical way. Okay, next here is a diagram given, and this diagram is trying to show us the, you can see the TT curve. TT curve represents the total expenditure. Okay, here I am talking about this TT curve is showing us about the total expenditure. As the price is coming down from P to P1, the, you can say the demand is also, or the expenditure is also shifting, okay, from M to M1. So we can, from this diagram we can say that the total expenditure method gives only a general measure rather than, you can say, exact measure of the price elasticity of demand. Okay, next we are having the point method. Already before we have understood point method means we are going to draw a point on the demand curve, right? So geometrically, price elasticity or demand can be measured with the help of what is known as point method. Okay, the same thing they are talking about. We are going to draw a point on a line segment or on a demand curve. Okay, so the equation is saying price elasticity is equal to line segment below. Please remember it at top, and numerator and denominator is there. At the numerator we are writing below and denominator we are writing above. Okay, that is line segment below the point of the demand curve, on the demand curve, and line segment above the point on the demand curve. So here we are going to say elasticity on the straight line demand curve. Okay, first we are understanding what is the elasticity, how to calculate the elasticity on the straight line of demand curve. So here is a straight line given at demand curve AB. Okay, AB they are taking as a straight line demand curve, and on it we have 2 points. One is R, other is the Q. So for R I have done the marking downward, you can see. So for R we are saying that is the line segment below, that is RB, right? And what is the line segment above? That is RA. This is the line segment below and above. So line segment below and above, this we can say that hence price elasticity is more than 1 because RB is more than RA. So it is price elasticity is 1. Okay, next you see K, point K. So first we are going to write the below part, that is KB, right? And the above part is KA. Here we are going to say price elasticity is less than 1. Okay, come to the next page. Price elasticity of demand at different points on a straight line demand curve. So this is a straight line demand curve drawn here, and they have given us different kinds of point. Where point A, you can see that is the point where it is stopping, and you can see point B, there also it is stopping. So at the very top we are saying the price elasticity is infinity. Okay, and in you can say the middle point, the midpoint marked as D, that is EP1, that is unitary elastic, and you can say the below, that is EP0, right? So we can say the point from D to B, we can say it is inelastic, right? So point A we are saying it is infinity. Point B we can say it is midpoint, right? So point E we can say it is the elastic, and point D we are saying it is unitary. Point C is inelastic. Okay, And the last one is at B, where the demand curve touches the horizon axis, we are saying here is 0. Okay. Next, elasticity on the non-lined demand curve. If we are not having a straight line demand curve, we are having a little bit curve, what we are going to do? We can measure the price elasticity of demand on the demand curve, which is not a straight line. We have to draw a straight line beside it so that it can touch the demand curve. Okay, and then we can measure it. So you can see they have marked as D, that is the demand curve, and AB is the line segment drawn by us, and R is the point where we need to measure. So as I have done there, you can see R is exactly the middle point, right, the midpoint. So here we can say that it is an unitary elastic, that is EP1, we can say it. So in your book there are few numeric problems given and you need to go through it. Okay, these are the numeric problems they have given, they have solved also, and they have shown if you get something like this in your exam, how can you solve it. So these are the simple equations which you need to apply and solve it. Thank you students, hopefully you understood.